Hello guys, welcome to Algorithms Made Easy. My name is Rajat and today we will be discussing the question brick wall. In this question we are given a brick wall and the wall is rectangular and has several rows of bricks. The bricks have the same height but different width. We need to draw a vertical line from the top to the bottom and cross the least bricks. So the brick wall is represented by a list of rows. Each row is a list of integers representing the width of each brick in this row from left to right. If your line grows through edge of a brick, then the brick is not considered as crossed. You need to find out how to draw that line to cross the least bricks and return the number of crossed bricks. Now we are given that we cannot draw a line across any of the two vertical edges of the wall, in which case the line will obviously cross no bricks. So in the first example, as we can see that we can draw a line from this point and we will cross the least of the brick, that is 2. So we need to return that output, that is 2. The given note with the problem states that the width sum of the bricks in different rows are the same and won't exceed integer.maximum, and the number of bricks in each row is in the range of 1 to 10,000 and the height of the wall is in the range of 1 to 10,000. So the total number of bricks of the wall won't exceed 20,000. The constraints will pretty much guide us as to what approach should we take. As we can see that the width can go all the way up to integer.maximum. We will try to think of an optimized solution. So now let's see what the question is about and how we can solve that. So here is the example given to us where there is a wall and there are a number of bricks placed in each of the row. And as the answer is given to us, if we draw a line from this point, we will cross 2 bricks, and that's why we need to return 2 in this particular case. Coming back to the original state of the problem, we see that we cannot draw the line from this 2 points, that is the start and the end. In that way, it will be always 0. So we just need to draw all the lines in between these 2 points. So when we draw all the possible lines that we can make in this wall between the start and the end point, we get these 5 lines, and then we calculate the number of bricks each of these lines cross. So as we can see, if we use the line 1, it crosses 3 bricks. So the result of bricks for this particular line is 3. And similarly for all, we will put that value. And at the end, we need to select the minimum of these values and return that. Now this is a brute force approach wherein we are checking for each line as to how many bricks it crosses and returning the minimum of all those values. And with the constraints given with the problem, this cannot be the solution that we can go ahead with, as the width can be up to integer.maximum and we will have so many lines and the time complexity will be pretty high in that case. So we had these 5 lines and we will focus our attention on these 5 lines for now. So as there are 5 lines, we also see that if the starting index is 0, the first line is made at index 1, second at index 2 and so on till the end, and the last index is 6, as that is the width of this particular wall. Turn our attention to the first row, and in that first row we will turn our attention to the first 2 bricks. We see that the first brick ends at coordinate 1 and the second brick ends at the coordinate of 3. But we don't know yet. How would we come to know that the second brick touches the third index? So what we can do is we can add the previous value into that and that will make it 3. So now we know that the length of this brick from the start is 3. And similarly we can do that with the next brick and similarly with the last brick. Thus we know the end index of each of these bricks. And similarly we will do that for the whole brick wall, as the last brick will always be ending with the same value. All the values are 6 in this case. We again turn our attention to the first line. And now in this brick wall, if we see that there are 3 bricks whose ending index is 1. Now the ending index denotes that these bricks won't be touching the line, or in other sense we can say that this line won't be crossing these many bricks. This gives us an idea that the number of bricks this particular line will be crossing will be equals to total number of rows in this wall minus the number of bricks it is not touching. So we can find out how many number of bricks it is not touching, subtracting it from the total number of rows, and we can get the number of bricks it will be touching. Let's move ahead with this idea and try to replicate that into some other scenario. Let's take the value as 3. So this is the line 3 that we are now working with. We try to find how many bricks are there which are ending at index 3. So we find that there are 3 bricks ending at index 3. So that gives us that there are total of 6 rows. 6 minus 3 is 3. So that means this line is touching 3 bricks, which matches with what the output we have shown in the previous slides. Now let's go back to the part where we find out about the number of bricks which ends at index 1. We also find out that it is not an optimal solution to check for each of these lines that exist in between 0 and the total width of this wall, because that will be in high complexity. If only we store the count of each of these values present in this brick wall, it will be easy for us to directly find out how many number of bricks are ending with that particular value. In this case 1, we can directly find out there are 3 bricks, and in order to return that, we can directly return the total number of rows minus the number of bricks it is not touching. If we see that in the case how many bricks the line 5 is touching, we can directly find out how many bricks are ending at 5 index, and then doing a subtraction with the total number of rows, it will give us the answer as 4. That is correct. So our assumption was correct, and we can go ahead with this approach in order to find out how we can solve it. You must have got the idea of this approach, and you can now go ahead and try it by yourself. If you face any difficulty, come back again and you can see the rest of the video. So now let's try to code this particular approach. So we need to find a value wherein we find the maximum number of non-touched bricks. So we can have that variable first. We can name it as untouched, which will initially be 0. Now we do need to loop on every brick of every row. So we will do that looping first. Now we need to find out the end index of each of the brick that we are working with. So it is more of a prefix sum, if you know. So we can have an end index value. Initially that will be 0. Now there is one more thing to consider over here. When we find out the end index of all the values, we see that the end index of the last brick will always be the same. So that doesn't make any sense to use that particular brick. So we will loop till the second last brick in this case. Now we do need to add the value of this brick into this end value. So we can do a row.get brick. Now we need to store these values somewhere. We usually use for count an array, but since the value can range all the way from 1 to integer to maximum, it won't make any sense to use that particular array because there will be a lot of empty spaces in that. In order to reduce the consumption of space, we can use a map. The map is a key value pair. The key in this case can be the end index, and the value will be the count of that end index, which will hold the number of bricks ending with that particular index. So we need to put this end value into this map. So we can put in like, now in this we are putting the end value and incrementing it if it already exists. Now we need to find out the maximum number of untouched bricks. When we maximize this, the number of touched brick goes minimum. So we just need to find out the maximum of this end value. So now with this loop, we have the maximum number of untouched bricks that we can have with any of the line, and at the end we need to simply return the number of touched bricks, which will be equals to wall.size minus untouched. So this completes the coding part. Now let's try to run this code. So it ran successfully. Let's submit this. So it got submitted successfully. The time complexity, as we can see, is equals to the number of bricks present in this wall, while the space complexity will be the width of the wall. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.